This episode of Grilled is sponsored by Rationale, your leading provider in multifunctional hot food preparation equipment. Register now for a free Rationale live demo at www.rationale-online.com.
This is a Grilled podcast. Just so you know, there may be a few right words. So, Mum, stop listening. But all you guys carry on listening because it is fun. But there may be a few swear words because we're chefs at the end of the day and we like swearing.
Welcome to Grilled.
I want to eat under roast whenever I want to eat under roast, not when you want me to eat it.
I just remember Brad's smell of his beard. You just had a biggest, fluffiest beard, and I was like, God, he smells so good. I don't know why, it's weird. Sometimes you put smell or something to it, and I just remember that. Well, it's a bit bizarre.
Why are you in your chef's white cellar? Are you working?
I'm cooking burgers.
Oh, burgers! I hope they're not McDonald's.
And I just lash it all over the hot toast as it melts and quickly munch it up, crunchy, crunchy, munchy.
Dying to get like a piece of your culinary penis in or around their mouth.
Welcome to Grilled, a podcast by the Staff Canteen. I'm Cara, editor of the Staff Canteen, and this is the final episode with my co-host Aaron Mulliss, former head chef at Hand & Flowers and now owner of recruitment company Tastie. If you have missed any of the episodes, there's no excuses because you should be listening, but they are all available now. Just search for Grilled by the Staff Canteen where you get your podcasts. Aaron, it's our last one.
I know, I'm well sad.
Are you actually?
They're the best for last.
No. Yeah, shut up, I haven't introduced you yet.
What are your highlights?
Do you know what? Just talk, just chatting and chewing the fat and hearing people's, different ideas, opinions, and just random stories that you don't necessarily hear day to day. It's good. It's been really good.
Well, I'll be expecting a random call once a week just so you can get your fix in. Right. I mean, we've heard him already, but please do introduce your guest for today.
So my guest today, the final guest, is, what isn't he? He's a chef. He's a restaurateur. He's a cookery school teacher. He's a Michelin-starred winner. He's an Acorn Award winner. He's an author. But he's also Stratford-on-Avon's highest grossing gigolo. It's Paul Foster.
Thanks for putting that last bit in there.
Paul Foster, welcome to Grilled. Again, because I have actually caught up with you on here a few years ago, but it was a very different format. So, welcome to Grilled.
Well, thanks for having me. Yeah.
And he's a podcaster as well. I forgot, I missed that bit out as well.
Yeah, well, it's a long list.
What doesn't he do, this guy?
Many fingers and many pies, yeah.
Firstly, how do you two know each other?
It goes back years, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I'm trying to think. I think was it coming to the Hand & Flowers eating and then us just getting in touch through social media?
Yeah, I think the first time we went out was Duck and Waffle, wasn't it? Was it Duck and Waffle in London?
No, it's before that. It was Hawksmoor. It was.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That was a mental night. That was.
Yeah. So just through the love of everything that being a chef's all about, having fun, cooking, and just generally being a dick.
That's one thing. I think that's the only thing I'm good at, generally being a dick.
That's top of your list.
Yeah.
Right, before we play Two Truths and a Lie, which I know Aaron is on the edge of his seat for, I did have a little Google of you, Paul, and I played this game with Tom Sellers actually, and it was the top things that come up for you on Google, like what people want to know. Yeah. So the first thing is Paul Foster Cheesecake.
Paul Foster Cheesecake, really? And I hate cheeses.
Is that
I was hoping that Paul could answer why.
I've got no idea. I'm not known for cheesecake. Was it a Tunworth cheesecake?
Oh, hang on. Let me double check it.
Because that's the only one I did it on James Martin's show.
That sounds like one of your moves.
Do you know what, Paul? That's what it is. I don't even need to look now. You've said that. If you did it on James Martin, that'll be why everyone is Googling Paul Foster Cheesecake. So sorry, please explain that, because
Well, there's no story really. I just did a cheesecake, but a Tunworth cheesecake.
Okay.
I hate cheese as well.
Oh yeah, you do, don't you?
It's a baked cheesecake. It was lovely recipe I worked on last year or the year before. And yeah, I did it on James Martin's, and he took the whole cheesecake and put it in his kitchen. He wouldn't share it with anyone. He loved it.
Oh, okay. So obviously a popular recipe with the housewives of the James Martin fans.
Must
there
be,
we go.
Yeah. It really is a bit sideways.
And the second thing is Paul Foster chef age.
Age? Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
Do we want to
amazing.
know how old you are?
I always forget, so I'll Google it. Yeah.
You
So,
same age
but-
as me, you're a year older. You're the same age, aren't you?
We're a day younger.
Mm.
One day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the 4th of August. I'm the 3rd.
Yeah. Time's a cruel mistress, isn't it, Paul?
Oh, yeah.
So you're both celebrating the big 4-0 this year.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah.
You're welcome. We aim to please on this podcast.
Okay.
And the final one, which actually Tom Sellers had as well, and Paul Foster Wikipedia. So you obviously don't have a Wikipedia page.
No.
No. Which is strange because you're on telly, you say some quite controversial things every now and again. You'd think you'd have a Wikipedia page.
Yeah. Who's responsible for that? Who does that?
You could make your own, but don't tell people that you did that.
Yeah, that feels a little conceited, doesn't it, to do your own?
Yeah, I believe someone has to make one for you, Paul. So.
Oh, okay.
I'll do it.
You do it. Go on.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Just be really creative with it.
Well, yeah, like your intro. That was very creative, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. But like, just make stuff up. Make me fabulous.
Yeah, see how much gets into the press that you've added in there.
I want a picture. Take me like one of your French girls. Yeah.
Right, thank you. You'll be relieved that's over, Paul. There's nothing too distressing in that Google choice. So we're going to play Two Truths and a Lie. Aaron, do you want to go first, or do you want Paul to go first?
I'll go first.
Go on, then off you go.
Right, ready?
Yeah.
Strap yourselves in. This is pretty intense. Right, okay, so first one. Sat Baines gave me the nickname Chef Daz. The second one, my German cousin wrote and performed 2018 German dance track, Mama Lauda. And the third one, my staffy is named after a movie character.
Which one's a lie? I think the German one, the middle one.
Oh, straight in, no questions asked.
I think so. Just from knowing, but I remember speaking when you come up to Stratford a couple of years ago about Buddy, and I asked you why the name Buddy Love. I can't remember the reason, but the film rings a bell. And I know Sat gave you that nickname.
Yeah.
As well. So I know that one.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're right.
A winner. And for people that don't know, what is the kind of story behind that nickname, Aaron?
So basically, when we used to go out for a few beers back in the day, so like Sat, Daniel, Paul, Tom, whoever, all the naughty boys, I used to sing a rendition of Vanessa Paradis' Jula Taxi, right? Yeah. And then Adam, this is a bit of a long story, that Adam Simmons had his, I think it was his 40th birthday party at the Hand and Flowers. That Sat then said to me, "Oi, Aaron." No, he said, "Oi, Az, sing Jula Taxi." And then some bloke turned around, he goes, "Yeah, Daz, sing Jula Taxi." Just some random bloke. And then Sat's gone, "Yeah, Chef Daz, come on, sing it." So then, I probably, did an amazing performance of Jula Taxi.
Are we going to get a performance today?
And no, I've got long COVID, and it's really
okay.
It's really knackered my my what's this bit called? Throat, voice, box thing.
But it's the final one.
I know it is, yeah. Maybe at the end. Maybe at the end when we've forgotten about it, yeah.
Okay. Right, so that's where it comes from. Okay. I don't think I ever knew that. I don't think I've ever asked you.
No, well, there's a lot you haven't asked me.
Yeah, every day's a school day. Right, Paul, let's have yours. 2 truths and a lie, please.
Okay. When I was 10 years old at school talent show, I dressed up as Elvis and sang to the whole school, an Elvis rendition, and then went back home to my parents' pub and I had to sing it on stage with a band in front of 150 people, like dressed up as Elvis, and it really does make me cringe.
I think we can have a duet at the end of this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I'm colourblind, only slightly. I struggle with greens.
Is that why you served me brown cabbage that once?
No, it looked green to me.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
And on the train once going into King's Cross, I was sat on the same carriage as the Queen on a very basic budget train.
The Elvis one, I think, is right, because the explanation took far too long and you got well into it, and I could see that you were welling up. And
I think the people watching were crying.
Colourblind. You've never said you're colour. I don't think you've ever said you're colourblind. You couldn't have been sat with the Queen because of just security, and you look dodgy as fuck. So I'm going.
When you say the same carriage, do you mean like this on the same train or in the actual carriage?
Carriage.
Nah, not in a million years. Not in a million years. Unless you're sat with Prince Andrew.
That was about 30 years ago when I was 9. Yeah.
Oh dear. You have got a bit of the Epsteins about you. Right. Okay. I'm going with the Queen one.
Incorrect. Colourblind. I'm not colourblind. That's the lie.
You sat with the Queen?
I never sat with her, but we were on the same carriage. There was loads of armed police. She was on the same carriage as us. We didn't know. We got on and we got ushered down to the very first carriage. It was going from Cambridge to into, I think it was King's Cross. And it was all a bit weird, like all these armed police on. It's like, it can't be a celebrity. It's got to be someone big deal. And I was chatting to this cop and said, yeah, the Queen's just down there. And yeah, she got up, got off. And when we got into King's Cross, they made us all stay in our seats. These big armoured cars drove onto the platform next to the train. She got on straight in the car. They whipped the cars out, special exit, and then we were allowed to get off, but not until the cars had left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good story. That is.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my head, though, I'm thinking of, I can only think of like LNER train company, and I can't imagine the Queen sitting in their first class and being like overly bowled over by it.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. It's when I was over in Suffolk. I was just to get the train from Cambridge, but it was a real basic budget train.
Do you reckon she got a free biscuit and a cup of tea?
Yeah.
Free bottle of sparkling water.
Yeah. It was very random, very, very weird. Like, she always got that train from, is it Sandringham that's up Norfolk Way, to go back to Buckingham Palace. She always used to get the train, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's one for the environment, our Lizzie.
Yeah, saving the world one train at a time.
And then like 6 armoured cars pull up, pumping up diesel.
Yeah. And I didn't know that you were an Elvis impersonator.
I'm not anymore. I've retired. I retired at 10. Yeah. Oh, terrible. Thinking back to that is awful. And I was really shy at school. I wouldn't speak to anyone, right? And then everyone was just shocked because they were like, he doesn't speak. And he's got up and sung Elvis. I had like the full outfit. My mum did a big quiff in my hair.
What song did you sing?
A really random one as well. Return to Sender.
Oh, right.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
The only reason I chose that is because the only one I had the words to was in a pamphlet with the the CD with the words in. There wasn't internet then. It was like 30 years ago, nearly.
I know. You might have to explain to people what a CD is.
Yeah.
Compact disc.
Yeah. Any young people listening?
Yeah. So you got a couple of old fogies on the old.
Okay. Well, I will look forward to a rendition of that at the end of this podcast, along with Aaron's. Then.
Going to be a right old singing song, isn't there?
Yeah, that might be when it just cuts off and I lose internet. Yeah.
Right, before we go into any other questions, I just want to talk about what's in the news. Well, it will be in the news. It's not in the news yet because I'm not allowed to put it up yet. But Ollie Williamson is the new head chef of the Fat Duck. So congratulations to Ollie. What are we thinking about that? I think that's quite a cool new direction, maybe for a Fat Duck. Someone like him.
Yeah, amazing.
At the front.
Yeah, he sent me a message yesterday saying, look, loving the podcast, and just so you know, I've been promoted. Yeah, I was over the moon for him. It's like, yeah, what an incredible, like, there's not many more, prestigious roles out there, is like, than head chef of the Fat Duck. I mean, people who go before him, like you've got Ed Cook, obviously. I don't know what he's up to. Then Ash, Johnny Lake, like the jockey, and all those lot, like all legends of the industry, and he's just following in their footsteps. And yes, hats off to him. What a ledge.
Yeah, that's awesome. Fair play to him.
Yeah.
Smash it as well.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. But like you said, yeah, very, like, there's not many other roles, I think, that compete with that one, is there? So
that's a big old job, that. Yeah, good luck to him.
Yeah, no pressure.
No, not at all.
Just before the guide comes out again. Okay, so I have a couple of questions from the audience. This is to both of you. What were you both doing on the 20th of the 5th 20 when Boris was partying?
I put this on my Instagram yesterday. I was looking through my photos before. Anyway, I took my kids to the park, and then I put curtains up for my daughter in her room. That was very uninteresting. I certainly wasn't partying.
No accidental party.
No accidental parties that I stumbled across and didn't realise were a party.
How do you feel about this? Because it is very topical, and I don't want to like divide people or anything like that. But it's obviously has annoyed a lot of people. So how do you feel about it?
A bit blah, really. I mean, I say a lot online, but most of the stuff I say online, controversial stuff, is mainly tongue-in-cheek and generally to wind people up. But it's stuff like that as well. It's like, yes, it's annoying because we've lost so much, but still, it's like, you'd like him to go, but who's going to replace him? And it's all like, we're fucked either way, is the way I see it. I know that's really negative, but yeah, I am amazed how much that guy can get away with. It's unbelievable.
You just don't expect it, do you? I mean, that's the thing. Like all the restrictions that were put in place, that people couldn't, you couldn't go to a funeral, you couldn't do this, you couldn't, like, all things that that are important in your life. And they say, no, you can't do any of this, but they're going to go and get boozed up and have a right jolly. Like,
it sends two messages. I think only two messages. One, that they don't give a fuck and don't care about anybody, or two, the restrictions were meaningless and they didn't believe in them. It can only be one of those two, can't it? Yeah. I don't know.
All the restrictions were so confusing, even they didn't understand what they were. No, I mean, like you said, you don't expect it, but I think in a way you kind of do. What baffles me is how they're not aware that people aren't going to share this at some point. That's what baffles me. They must know that someone is going to get miffed at some point and is going to tell everybody what they've been up to.
Yeah, and for me, it's the arrogance of, they weren't even sneaky with it. They were emailing about parties. Like, emails are time stamped and date stamped. Like, the arrogance of, like, we're untouchable. That's what winds me up. Like, the lack of self-awareness, lack of empathy. It's just not really acceptable, is it?
No. Aaron, your notifications are driving me mad today.
It's not me. No, those ones weren't me. Those ones weren't me. I swear.
Paul, is it true that your tiger blood is the cure for COVID?
Yeah, it is.
Please explain.
Who was this from? Was this from Marie?
No. From Tony Parkin.
Oh, from Tony Parkin, yeah. Well, me and him have been talking about us both having tiger blood, because before Christmas, like him and his guys were testing every day, and all his guys went down with it, and they were spending loads of time together. He was testing every day, he never got it, And then like the same happened to me. Loads of people I was with, and Marie, who I'm seeing at the moment, she had it, and she was over mine New Year's Eve. She tested New Year's Day, she was positive, and then I tested every day after for like 7 days, never got it. And, you know, obviously it's like just me and her in the flat. So no, just me and Tony have been saying we've got tiger blood.
Okay.
Like Charlie Sheen. We can't get it. A bit like the Tories, untouchable. Yeah.
Too hard for COVID.
Yeah. I'm amazed neither of us got it, with like both of us being with like people that had it and like very close to them. And
you've had it though, haven't you, mate?
I don't know, maybe. I've never tested positive. No, never. I think I had it in the week before the first lockdown, but there weren't any tests then. I had all the symptoms, and I stayed above the restaurant for a week before we were closed, and I come out of isolation, and that was the Friday when restaurants were closed. Yeah. So it was a strange job. I couldn't get a test, but I think I did, but who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Just cold, isn't it?
Let's move on. From what can be controversial topic to another one. It is Veganuary this month.
Was it?
Don't get him started on this one. Bloody hell! What's that? To be fair though, in the last 2 weeks, you've had a woman call you a CUNT, and I've had someone call me one as well on social media. Yeah, that dude who I emailed and called about a job. I mean, that's what I do now. And he ended up telling me that I'm a failed chef. I've obviously not done it at a very high level. I'm a CUNT. I'm like, thanks very much. Hashtag be kind.
Who called me one? Because I'm used to it. Happens all the time. So
wasn't it that some woman you said about something about Veganuary, and she called you? Yeah, she called you.
Yeah, that rings a bell. Yeah, I was just having fun, baiting people. I was bored. It's, you know, mainly tongue in cheek, and it's just very easy. Yeah, I don't know. The vegans do. I think they're just lacking energy and get a bit angry.
Oh, no. Oh dear. I just don't. What's the point of doing something for a month? Like, if you're going to do it, crack on and do it properly. Yeah,
I just think, you know, I've got nothing against like ethical vegans, and if that's what they want to do, but like the issue for me, like January is the worst month to have Veganuary because we're not growing any crops really, so we're relying on importing more, so that's worse for the environment, and also relying on like processed food. So you look in the supermarkets now, and all the companies that are behind Veganuary, big companies with all these different over processed foods, so it's not necessarily better for your diet, and it's not necessarily better for the environment. It only is if you're eating a whole food diet, following it properly, preparing all your own food. Otherwise, you know, if you're doing it for ethical reasons, like, I can't argue with that. That's always going to be, our opinions are different. I'm fine with killing animals and putting them on the plate. They're not, you know, it's you agree to disagree, but the argument is with the environment and the diet, and you can't eat all those Beyond Burgers and all those other things and tell me you're doing it for your diet or environment, because that's rubbish.
And tell us the title of your new book that's coming out in Veganuary.
How to cook meat properly. Did promote it in hashtag Veganuary, and that was where that come from actually. Like, yeah, you use that hashtag. So sorry, do you own it? Like, it worked. Sold a few books, so it worked.
Was that did you think about that in the marketing process? Oh, I'm definitely going to release it in Veganuary.
Well, no, because I mean it was released December, and so it's obviously all the promotion is overlapped into January. It should have been with us in October, so it was never a plan. I always wanted it before Christmas, but loads of delays from printing and shipping, etc. So no, that was never an intentional thing.
Okay.
The intent was to have it before Christmas for the Christmas sales, which, but you know, it does help, like, to get a bit of traction online to hashtag Veganuary into it.
I actually only know one vegan, and every time I speak to him about it, he almost like apologizes. I'm like he's like, yeah, you know, I don't eat meat. Like, I'm just like, if that's what you want to, I'm not holding it against you. I'm not going to be your mate because, you know, you don't like a burger. I like, crack on. It's no drama. Like, yeah.
We don't
their own.
Yeah, we don't cater for vegans at Soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made that decision about 2 years ago. It just doesn't work for us. It doesn't make sense. And that's not about being against vegans. We've only got one menu now. And it's like, we're 8 courses, there's choices, there's canapes, there's bread, there's petit fours. And I just got to a point where it's like, if a vegan books for the next day, like, it adds 2 or 3 hours work to the team, like for them mise en place. For one every 6 weeks to 2 months, it doesn't make good business sense. You can't produce one portion of it all, so it's not cost effective in that respect. And I got fed up of the amount of vegans. We're never going to get hardcore vegans because of the kind of food we do. But I get fed up. We've got fed up of them. So many vegans that would get to the end and they'd eat some of the partner's cheese or eat some of the partner's dessert. And you'd see it, you know, you've seen the kitchen there, that open kitchen, just see them do it. I'm like, we've done all that extra work and you're going to do that in front of me. It's not all of them, but it was very often.
Yeah.
Very often. Yeah,
that's naughty.
But the amount of vegans we've had come and they're like, oh, okay, I'll be vegetarian tonight. It's like, okay. And we had one actually, when I'd just made the ruling, because we've got the chef's table upstairs, a PA had booked a table for the chef's table, like 5 people for this like corporate thing. And they booked a vegan. I said, no, sorry, we don't cater for vegans. They went back to one. So he came and I cooked up there that night. So I did a tasting menu for 4 people. He just sat and drank and watched them all night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was fine with it. Really nice guy. And he's like, he ate before and he wanted to come along with his work colleagues. And it was some of his colleagues that didn't know about it, that they seemed a bit more offended. And they were like, can't you just knock him something up now? I said, no, I won't do it. It's like, surely you could do something. You're a chef. It's like, yeah, I am a chef, but it doesn't happen straight away, this food. You've had 8 courses and no. And he was like, no, I'm fine. Honestly, I ate before I come out. But yeah, there was 2 of them on the table, just didn't get it. And the easiest thing would have been to give in, but you've got to, you know, set a precedent with the rules we've made, and so we will not do it in black and white with it.
But also, it's about like what you're passionate about: cooking meat, fish, protein. You're very good at it. That's what, you know, that's what you do. Like, it's also about being able to give them something that you know is, you know, you put your heart and soul into, and you know
you believe in, and
exactly,
you cook better with the stuff you know and love, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like vegan food, there's some great vegan food, but I don't put my heart into it, so I don't believe it's as good as the rest. And the same, we use a lot of dairy in our food as well, so we won't cater for dairy intolerant people, which has never been an issue. The amount of ones we've had, because again, it's similar to doing a vegan. We have to change everything, so we just don't do it. But the amount of dairy intolerant people that have come and been like, oh, okay, I'll be all right for tonight, like, you know, because it's not an allergy. But yeah, they were business decisions, which when you own a business, you've got to make these choices and you've got to live or die by them, and you can't be inconsistent with them. Yeah, and it works.
Have you ever tried one of those Impossible burgers or Beyond burgers?
Yeah, terrible.
Oh, I had one. I thought it was all right.
I don't know which one I had. There's all sorts of different types, aren't there?
Yeah, I was cooking on Necker a few years ago, and they did this like barbecue for all the guests, and they had like lobster and steak and whatnot, and then burgers, but they didn't have any beef burgers. All they did was like these Impossible burgers.
Yeah.
And I had a try. I was like, it's not bad, to be fair.
Fair enough.
Bad. I mean, yeah, I'd eat one, but yeah, I mean, they are very, like you say, super over processed, which
it's the same as diet wise. It's the same as eating processed meat food, like over processed food. That's the diet issue.
This is you start talking about vegans too long, you just feel sapped of energy, don't you?
Yeah.
I want a bacon sandwich and like, yeah.
I don't know. I want one.
Starbucks.
staying on the theme of, obviously we're talking about you enjoy, it's just tongue in cheek, and you do enjoy winding people up on Twitter, which you know, that's fine. I did notice, I don't pay much attention to it, but I did notice that you put a rolly eye face when someone had commented on the lineup that Aaron had picked for his podcast.
Yeah.
Now, I did nearly reply and say, as far as I'm aware, I am a woman and I am part of this podcast.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Because I find this really
Comments
tough.
like that really annoy me, and just like why? There's a way to deliver those sort of things if you've got an issue with it, and like you've done plenty of podcasts, and Staff Canteen as is what you are, like massively supporters of women within the industry. I just thought it was just this negative, like in a dig at like all the lads together. I was like, oh, just go away. Like I don't what you after? And like if you look at it, right, it's a true representation of the industry. Like we have to represent like everybody within this industry, but with things like this, there was naturally always going to be more men because there's more men in the industry, you know, because women make up a lower percentage, don't they? So with things like that, there will just generally be more. And that's not being anti-women at all. It's just by the law of averages.
Yeah, well, I decided it's Aaron's fault for not being friends with more women. So,
yeah.
Well, you know, I'll do my very best in the future to become friends with a lot more women.
Yeah,
I'm sure you will.
and then we can come back and do this again, and it would just be me and a load of women. That'd be amazing.
I mean, joking aside, obviously the whole point is that the lineup is people that either you know or that you respect or admire in the industry that you want to talk to. And I think that's kind of got lost in that comment, really, Paul. Don't you think? It's and Aaron, it's kind of like, it's not about it's all the lads. It's about these are people that are part of the industry and they're really interesting, and I want to talk to them.
Yeah, you know, friends of Aaron chose us, like me and Aaron are like one of the best mates, and that's why he chose the people that, you know, you can engage with, and that's what it's about. Yeah. I don't know, it just seemed like a cheap dig. I was, just don't, like, especially like aimed at the I didn't take it personally at all. It's not my thing, and that's why I didn't go any further with it, because, you know, this is, you know, Aaron's co-host Staff Canteen thing. But I saw it amount that you guys do across the whole industry for, you know, everybody within the industry, minorities, everything. And I think you cover a really good broad scope. So it just felt a very unnecessary comment. It's like, do you not see the other stuff Staff Canteen do?
Do you think we'll ever get to a point in the industry where we don't have to talk about whether they're male chefs or female chefs?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, and I think it's one of those things that I think it will just naturally always be like builders. There's obviously women builders out there, but there's always going to be more male builders. It's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's not about anything being anti-women or anti-women in that role. The same with us. And there's always, so I mean, I'll speak on her behalf here. So my head chef, she's a woman, Laura, and she really gets annoyed by the whole, like, too much about a woman in a kitchen, because she's like, it doesn't matter. It's not sport where, you know, men's bodies are built different and men are generally faster, stronger, etc. Cooking's cooking, doesn't matter what sex you are.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I've in my last, so what, 5 or 6 placements of chefs in kitchens, 4 of those, 3 of those have been women. So like, it's not, let's look at the industry across the board. Like, there's fuck all stuff at the moment, whether they're, you know, women or men. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So like, it's not a, you know, yes, we should champion, you know, women coming into the industry, getting into the kitchen. But if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. Like, whether you're a bloke or woman, like, you know, we need everyone to go, I want to be a chef, or I want to be a waitress, or I want to be a sommelier. Like, you know, if I could train Buddy Love to be a junior sommelier in a 1-star, it'd be it'd be in his tuxedo t-shirt, ready to party straight away. Like, from my point of view, but the whole industry, we need people to get back into it, and so we can, so then the industry can start moving again. It's not about whether you're
positivity, really, isn't it? And the good things in the industry, not pointing out like things that are missing, because there's a lot missing, and that's people in general.
Yes. Let's move away from our more controversial topic. Let's talk about. We mentioned obviously you've got Salt, but let's talk about your journey to that point, and how hard is it to get to the point where you own your own restaurant? Like, you didn't just jump into the industry and go, I want my own restaurant, and then 6 months down the line you're opening it up, did you? So let's talk about your journey and what that's been like for you.
Like owning my own restaurant, it was one of those things, like from a very young age I always said I wanted, but it was almost like in the way of a kid wanting to be an astronaut. That it was like, I want to do that, but I never really believed it would happen until it did. I never really had the confidence in myself that, like, I knew I was a capable, strong cook. I knew I could run a team, but I'd never run a business. I didn't know the ins and outs of it. And that was where, like, I had a huge lack of confidence. Like, I could bomb at this. You could be the best chef in the world, but terrible businessman. And it felt like a very easy thing to say, because I never truly believed it would happen. And it got to the point I've worked around very varied different styles of restaurants. So I never went like all the way French or anything like that. I wanted to just learn every different type of cuisine I could, and like build my philosophies in that way. And then I think even when I don't really believe in myself until I'm doing it, never before. So I didn't believe I was a head chef until probably a year or two of being a head chef when I was in Suffolk. And at the start, I was like, am I a fraud? Can I do this? And then it was the same with the restaurant. And I think it was just gradually layering on the confidence. But when we opened up Soul, on the first day, I had a massive panic attack in the toilets. Never told anyone about it at the time. Massive, overwhelming pressure of, like everything, like the lease, the bills, the rent, the team, this expectation that I'd put on myself, and I'd built, somewhat of a profile throughout Tuddenham and Mallory, and it was like, fuck, people have got an expectation of me. I've got an expectation of myself. I don't know how to run a business. It's like a massive panic attack in the toilets, because I just thought I can't do it. And like phoned wife at the time, spoke to her, and she calmed me down and come round. But I think it was really necessary that I went through that. It felt like that was the worst, like it was the worst I'd felt around it, and I needed to feel that to move forward, if that makes sense. And then from that, and I actually wrote about it in the book, and I gave, so Laura and Gibbo, they've been with me since day one. I gave them the book, and they read the book, and they're like, we didn't know you had like a panic attack on our first day. I said, well, I didn't, because I had this part of me like, well, I'm a leader. If you see me panicking at the top, then everything's going to fall to shit, isn't it? But yeah, I'm still learning about business now, and I have to ask accountants like silly questions that I think I should know. It's still a massive learning curve for me. We're 5 years old in March as a business, but I love it. I love being a businessman. I love owning the restaurant, and I think it's gone okay so far. It's been a challenge to get there, and we've built up a good business model, and obviously survived through COVID, which obviously had its own challenges. But I think good business models do.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron, is that something you can kind of relate to? Because obviously you just completely changed direction. You had to do something that you didn't know.
Yeah.
Any panic attacks in the toilets?
Oh my, not in the toilets, just every day. I've got like literally. I kind of live by the phrase "fake it till you make it," because like I've never done a day's, recruitment or being a recruitment consultant or agent in my life. I just like, okay, well, I've got this vision. I'm going to create this vision and see where I go. I have an appointment at 2:30 this afternoon with an accountant because I have no idea what I'm doing from that side of it. I'm just trying to find people amazing opportunities, chase an invoice, and that's all I've been doing. And then I'm just like, well, you've got to do corporation tax, filing, and all this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? I didn't sign up for this. This was not in the brochure. So yeah, I'm just like, oh my god. I'm gonna have the tax man knocking on my door saying, what's going on here, unless I sort my shit out pretty quickly. So yes, I do. I went into this site quite naively, really, from a business point of view, because like Paul said, I've never run a business before, and it's very lonely. Like Paul Ainsworth, actually, I know I was speaking to him about what I was doing, and he was, he's been a great champion of what I'm doing. I've worked with him, a bit over the last year, and he said, hats off to you, because running your own business is extremely lonely. And it is extremely lonely, because the buck stops with you. And if I don't get up early in the morning, crack on, start, earning money, no one else is going to do it for me. It's me, and that's it, and yeah, that's it's exciting. I love working, but I do love working for myself, because it's you've got the freedom, and there's no one telling you what to do. It's get off your ass and fucking do this. And if you've got a passion and for a vision, and that that I have, that Paul has, that people who run their own businesses have, that I think that's super exciting as well.
Yeah, and I think like what you learn through it, and like from knowing you as well, you don't have to be good at everything. Like, you transfer your skills are perfect for what you're doing now. You know the industry inside out, you've worked at the top level, and you're great with people, and you're a good talker, really good communicator. The other stuff works itself out as long as you can transfer those skills. And the way I've, over the past few years, like my weaknesses, I don't even try and focus on them. I don't stress about them. I don't worry about them. I don't try and improve them. It's like I'll concentrate on my strengths, and I'll get a good accountant that can manage the things that I can't, as long as I have a basic understanding of it and know what's going on. And the same within the industry, the things sort of within the restaurant, the things that some of my guys do for me, they're better at than me. I'll concentrate on what I'm good at, and then it just gets basically just gets more and more. So like, we've wanted to open a cookery school upstairs, and I've never ever worked in a cookery school. I don't know how that works. I thought, well, I'm good with people. We can cook. Let's just have a go. We'll do it our way. We don't have to follow the format. I don't have to shit myself anymore thinking, well, I've never done it, I can't do it. It's about transferring your skills and making it work for you.
Yeah.
But for anyone listening out there who's like, like I was, like, don't believe they can do it. You can. You can if you focus on your skills and transfer them, and just make it work for you.
Yeah. Also, we're not taking responsibility if it doesn't work.
No. Since knowing Paul, and obviously I see him more as, he is like one of my best mates, but I look at his career and what he's achieved, and like what's been the highlight for you, really? I mean, there's even with the random intro that I gave you, I missed stuff off. Like I said, you've created your own podcast. I missed that out. I missed out the fact that you won a Katie.
You can't mention that on here.
Sorry, but have you won a gold Staff Canteen mug yet?
No.
Well, so what's the highlight then? I mean, obviously that's the goal. That's the main. That's the end goal, to get a gold Staff Canteen mug. But what is? What's been your highlight?
All of those things, like they're amazing, and I'm really proud of and really grateful for. But now I think probably because I'm getting old and sentimental, little things I look back on, so that first day in the restaurant, like how horrible it was, how stressful it was. We opened for the evening service, and the first table that come in cooked this dish. It was this salmon dish, the starter, and just like, it sounds really corny in that, but just watching them eat it and then share the food and the look on their faces, it just, like, it's moments like that I'm really proud of. And it's not like I've done it, it's like we've done that. We've got through all this year and we've made people happy and we've achieved what we wanted to and opened a nice restaurant. You know, all the awards and things are great. And then probably another one is the book, because that was something I really believed I couldn't do, like even book, and I wrote every word myself. And my spelling and grammar is like appalling. And I used to get shit from English teachers at school. So again, it was just like I loved cookery books, got a few hundred, like most chefs do, and I never thought I had it within me to do that. But it was confidence from other things that I never thought I could achieve. So, well, I'll give it a go. And like seeing that finished product it's like one of the proudest moments, especially the new one. It's available now.
Yeah, that second, how to cook impossible burgers properly. Like, that second book of yours, like honestly, from a if I wasn't your pal and you didn't send me a free copy, like I would buy it. Like it's brilliant. Like it's a fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Fantastic book.
I'm more proud of that than the salt book. I think the salt book's great, and you know, it's a chef book. It, like, let's face it, it's an ego book, and it, like, a passion project. It's about the restaurant, the team, me, the food, and I never really wanted anyone to cook from it because we didn't dumb the food down. The food is the food. But this one, it was like I really had this vision about what I wanted to achieve with the meat book, and I'd learned a lot with the first one, and this is the first of 6, so there's going to be 6 of them as part of this whole pack. And the idea is that it's a platform along with my online cookery school that if you buy into as a home cook or an experienced chef, you could really learn something. Because like one of the things that really made me want to do it is, you know, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, like saturated with content now so much, and you have to really weed through it because there's a lot of crap. Like, and there's a lot of really good stuff, but I like, when first lockdown, I was making some different breads and things that I've not done for years, so I wanted a little reminder. So I went on YouTube, and then you just look at something like sourdough, right? I know everyone's making sourdough, but it's a perfect example. There's like 3 ingredients, but you go on YouTube, there's thousands of different nuances and different ways. And as a chef, you can find that confusing, but a home cook, like, they're just down so many different paths and rabbit holes. So it was about like trying to build something that people can trust in its quality and really skill focused, because there is like there's probably 5-10%, like, it's very anecdotal, but of people teaching people how to cook on social media and stuff that is really good. 90% of people cannot cook, but are teaching people how to cook on TikTok and YouTube, and it's very hard to navigate and sift through and see what's what, because you're not tasting the product, you're not feeling it, and it was a frustration of that, like disrespecting the craft that, you know, that we love and we've spent years trying to master, and still, like, you'll never master, but you're still trying to like build something to really hone in on those skills.
Social media is a minefield on any topic, isn't it? So yeah,
there's a tutorial for everything, isn't there?
Yes.
You know, I would never, like, because I've changed a wheel, I've never started doing tutorials on car mechanics because I know nothing about cars. So some people cook a bit of food at home and they're not in the industry and never been chefs, and they're teaching people how to cook, and it's like, you can't cook. Like, yeah. So
it might be quite fun to watch you try and do car mechanic tutorials.
Is there a tutorial on YouTube for how to be a recruitment consultant?
If not, you should do it. You should make it till you make it.
As we've mentioned already, as you are both 40 this year, do you have anything that you want to do before you're 40?
Do my corporation tax return.
Living the dream.
Is there anything I want to do before I'm 40? That is a very good question, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me this, and what am I going to do? We're going to make it a big thing, and I don't know. I haven't really put much thought to it. I don't, like, genuinely, I'm not even fussed about being 40, and I don't have it as a marker in my life. I have to achieve a certain thing by.
Yeah.
And I think over the last, I don't know, like birthdays and Christmases and all that, especially over the last couple of years, you just think like it's just a non-event because of everything that's been going on. But I mean, I think both of us have got so much on, obviously, with Tastie, with everything that's going on. I almost like just forget about it and don't, I'm not really focused on what I'm going to do in 8 months' time. I'm just constantly, every day it's just trying to drive a brand new business forward.
When I did my podcast with Michael O'Hare and I asked him a similar question, he was trying to learn how to do a backflip before he was 40.
Oh my God.
That's so Michael.
That just makes my joints hurt just thinking about it.
So what about something fun and silly that you want to do before you're 40?
Well, get married. I'm going to get married in Vegas. I'm going to find a stripper and get married in Vegas.
Oh, come.
I think you should leave marriage alone for a bit, Aaron.
You're right.
Yeah.
Not yeah. Oh God.
The editing of
marriage
this
is like is Foster and vegans. Oh dear. Fun? I'd love to do something fun. I'm not in the mindset to. Do you know what I mean? This 2 years has just been no fun whatsoever. It'd be nice to do something super. I just don't know what it would be.
I didn't think this would stop you both so much.
No, we're so bored. Well, it's because we're so old, you see.
Yeah.
I'm literally sat here in my cozy slippers with my thermal long johns on. Thinking,
your tight-fitting hoodie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Paul, what's your worst job that you've ever had? We've talked about obviously successes and everything you've achieved. What's the worst job that you've ever had to do?
When I worked in Harvester.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Oh, it was carnage. I hated it.
What were you doing there? Waiting on tables?
No, I was in the kitchen. Yeah, I was on the fryer. I was fryer section. And my claim to fame there is I ran 2 sections. I did the salad cart and the pot wash.
Oh.
Yeah.
The controversial salad cart. That's not COVID secure, is it? Have you got the recipe for Red Devil sauce? Because that stuff is pop star.
Yeah, you open the pack.
Yeah.
That's the recipe. Yeah, no, I hated it. It was horrible. Just like back then, not mugging them off as a company, but the kitchen and some of the chefs that were there then were just rogue. The things they were doing were just awful. And I was in college, so and there was no good restaurants in Coventry. I didn't drive because I was like 16, so it was just a handy bit of money whilst I was at college. But I hated every second of it. Yeah, and it's very much like the film Waiting. Have you seen Waiting?
No, I've never
No,
watched
I don't think I have actually.
Ryan Reynolds. You should watch it. It's funny. It's very like it's not like the best film, but it shows the goings on of this American steakhouse restaurant with all the horrible chefs and waiters and the things they got up to. And you'll recognize a lot of those kind of things that go on in kitchens and stuff. But it was like that. It was just rogue. It was horrible.
What sort of things did they get up to?
It was like little things. They never did anything that was like really like illegal type stuff. But I remember they used to have this with the steak, this béarnaise sauce that would come in a little vat pack, and then they'd throw it in the microwave, like ping it on full heat, and then they'd pour it out, and it was just all like grease and egg. It just split to hell. And I remember saying to the head chef, "Oh, that's split." He's like, "What do you mean? Like, what does split mean?" So look, it's ruined. So I know that's how it should look. Oh, for fuck's sake! Like, you've only got to heat it up. You're not making a béarnaise. And like the like they'd drop the peas in the basket in this pan out the back, and the pan was that thick with lime scale. It was disgusting because it would be put on at 11 a.m. and it was open all day. So just all day, just top up with water. When it's boiled down, top up with water till like 10 o'clock at night. And this pan, it was white on the inside, and then the peas would go in it for 5-10 minutes, and then they go on the pass in the heated like chauffe dish, and they stay in there for a couple of hours, like brown and stink. And it's just that was acceptable for something that's so quick to cook. It was just all those different things. It was horrible.
You shattered my illusion of the harvest. I love the harvester.
You do?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
we used to go to the harvester, the one up by Handy Cross Roundabout in High Wycombe. If you're ever in the area, check it out. It's a cracking little eatery. But we used to go there for our chef's Christmas party or Christmas get together on a Sunday night because the Hand of Flowers used to close. So we used to go up there and have a few bottles of Barefoot White Zinfandel on the table. That was a go-to. We are wine connoisseurs as well as fantastic 2 Michelin-starred chefs, and just enjoy the ambience that the harvester has to offer. And I love it. But it's quite nostalgic, isn't it? I think like crispy bacon bits suitable for vegetarians. Salad cart. Steak and prawn combo. Like, oh, fantastic, really good.
Staff food though, when you were there, was helping yourself to the salad cart. Like that was it. But every day with that, awful.
The pasta salad there is phenomenal as well, I think.
Yeah. I've got their recipe as well. You just open the pack again.
Paul, if Harvester is obviously, I mean, that's not somewhere you're going to go. Is there a chain that you do go to that people probably think, he's a Michelin-starred chef, he wouldn't eat there?
No, I'll go to plenty of chains. And any chefs who say they don't, or you hear chefs like, I don't eat McDonald's, they bloody do. They're lying, all of them. I've got nothing against chains really. I know they get a lot of shit, and we're a small independent. I see the importance of them in the economy and stuff. So I'll go to chains with the kids because it's I don't feel guilty when they're making a bit of mess when they were younger. Like, I'd hate it in a small independent, and you just feel guilt because you can see the owner there. But we'll go like Zzz's, and my daughter's favourite place to go is Costa. I don't know why.
Oh, is it?
She loves Costa. Yeah, so you ever like, she'll go out for lunch? Yeah, Costa. But really? Like, I've got nothing against Costa, but there's not much food there. She loves it. Always has.
Does she have like a toasty or something?
Yeah, she has toasty or a croissant or something.
Yeah.
And she prefers it to salt. Yeah. Genuinely, like, I'm not joking. She tells me.
She's probably the one over on TripAdvisor.
But I never asked her. She volunteered the information. Like...
I remind her to, what's wrong with the chain? Chains like I like a Subway every now and then. I like a McDonald's, a Burger King, a KFC, like Zzz's. Like, it's consistency though, and this is the thing. Like, cooking food at a Michelin-star level is all about consistency of the product. Now, whether that's at the Hand of Flowers or Salt or whatever, you go there and you want the same every single time. You go to Burger King because you're going to get a Whopper that's the same every single time. And that's why it's successful. And that's why everyone goes there, or everyone wants to go and eat at Salt or the Hand or wherever. It's about consistent product.
And expectation as well. Like, if you go to McDonald's, you shouldn't ever be disappointed because, like, if you're going to Fat Duck, your expectations are here and they'll be met. If you go into McDonald's, if you've got medium expectations, you're always going to be disappointed. So you know what it is, you know what you're paying for. You can't be disappointed.
There's nothing worse when they get your McDonald's order wrong, though. Like, how?
I went to a local Chinese a couple of months ago, and I placed my order over the phone, standard order. My go-to hangover meal is sweet and sour chicken Hong Kong style.
Nice.
Special fried rice.
Yeah.
Prawn crackers.
Oh.
It's, easy peasy.
Yeah.
So I ordered it. Yeah, no problem. 15 minutes, I'm there. It's in a pub, so I had time for a quick quick cheeky pint while I was waiting. I went to get my Chinese order, and they said, "I'm really sorry, we've run out of rice." I'm like, sorry? How can you run out of rice? It was the same time. It was at the same time when the whole country was running out of petrol as well. Because I got I think that 2 days before I was driving to a mate's house and I ran out of petrol on the A404.
I remember that on Instagram.
Oh my God. Honestly, I was just like, what is life all about? Then 2 days later, I go to a Chinese and they've run out of rice. I'm like,
what was more upsetting though, the rice or the petrol?
The rice, definitely.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. You can't have a Chinese without special.
It's like a chippy running out of chips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul, final question. What's on the cards for you for the next 12 months? What's in the pipeline?
God, there's something coming up that I can't talk about. But
that keeps happening to us, doesn't it, Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron knows.
Our guests keep saying TBC.
Yeah. You'll be first to know when I can say something. But yeah, Aaron knows. It's just something that's slowly plodding along. But yeah, other than that, nothing huge really. Kind of going back to like the 40th question earlier, like just thinking about it now, is my plan. I always said when opening Salt, by the time I get to 40, I don't want to be working every Friday, Saturday night. I just don't want to. I'm not that attached to the restaurant that I feel I have to be there. So that's another aim of mine, is just stepping back a bit more, taking a bit more time, leaving the team to it, and just having more time with the kids and more social time and stuff like that. So that's a big thing this year, of just improving the balance really, and just taking more time off. And I've got another book to write as well, which I've not actually started yet. So the next one is going to be pasta. So it's pasta, grains and rice. But I'm starting that imminently.
You're going to do a special fried rice recipe, so just in case I run out, I can not run up.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll do that just for you in case you can't get it.
I hope it says dedicated to Aaron Mulliss on the page.
And refurb in the restaurant is, well, that's something that's really important, because we were going to do it because I inherited the tables and chairs. I've always hated them. They're not terrible, but they're just not comfy. They look great. And it was always my plan to do it. And then we built up some money, and it's well, let's open the cookery school because that's a new revenue stream. And it's like, okay, well, next year we'll do a refurb. And then we got the pandemic. So then we were going to do it towards the end of last year, and then not last year, year before, sorry. Then we closed down again. So it's just been put back and put back and put back. But this year, aim to do it. Nothing crazy, because I love the setting. We've got the flagstone floor, the bricks and the beams and that. I love the feel and the character, but just a little more plush and comfy and cozy, and a bit more high end really. And then I need to refurb the kitchen a bit as well. So yeah, I've got to find some money.
Well, it sounds like you've definitely got plenty to keep you busy in 2022. So yeah. Right, that is the end of Grilled. That is the end of our co-hosting session. Aaron, thank you so much for doing it. I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
This is obviously going to be the last one for now. We do have one with Tom Sellers, which I'm hoping will come out at some point, but it's just paused just for anybody that's listening. But we have recorded that and it was good fun. So that one will be available at some point. We will let everyone know. But yeah, thank you. Thanks, Aaron.
No, thank you very much for having me. It's been something different. I've really enjoyed it. Obviously, I did Paul's podcast a good wee while ago, but yeah, it's been amazing to have, some really close friends, just to be able to have a good chat and with yourself as well, and big up Staff Canteen and the whole industry. And yeah, 2022 super positive, and we'll smash it.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, Paul, you do obviously have your podcast. So if people enjoyed this, then they should definitely go and have a listen to yours as well.
Yeah, we're doing a new series at the moment. We've recorded 5 episodes, so it'll be released within the next few weeks. We've got a few more to do, but we always do them over an 8-week period, like for sort of our consistency of a series. So yeah, imminently it'll be out. We've got some really good guests.
Excellent. I look forward to it. I will look forward to it. So Paul, thank you for being our final guest.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you both.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.